only defense. She might have broken her voice, though, by screaming with shussweed juice still coating her throat. The prospect was enough to bring a cold sweat out all over her, even though it was a scorching mid-morning outside the small shade where she and Pepperbuckle cowered. Where are we? She sniffed, gulping down mortal air full of exhaust and the dry, nasal rasp of baking metal and sand. A whiff of something green and leather-tough. Sagebrush? No hint of anything she except her and the dog. His sides heaving under glossy, red-tipped golden fur. His fine tail drooped a bit, and he eyed her sidelong, his irises now a brighter blue, and the pupils uneven ovoids. It gave his gaze an uncanny quality. He hadn't left her behind. In for a penny, in for a pound, and all the old cliches. There was the large unsound of wind, and a drone that could have been traffic in the very far distance. The cowboy ballad wound down, and another song started. Someone was standing by her man. A wheezing noise was an ancient air conditioning unit on the roof. Robin shuddered. She pushed herself upright, making her knees unbend because there was no other choice. Pepperbuckle was depending on her, and while the mortal sun was up, they were safe enough from Unwinter's hunt. It was some faint comfort that Summer would think Robin still trapped or dead, and wouldn't be looking for her. Don't think about that. Her lips cracked as she parted them. She wanted to say Pepperbuckle's name, stopped herself. She had to shepherd her voice carefully. No more raving at that treacherous bastard Kren when she had the breath to permit it, while the wind and the veil snatched the curses from her lips as soon as she uttered them. You can't hate me any more than I hate myself, he'd informed her calmly enough, before stepping back so Pepperbuckle could bear her away. Why had he bothered to save her after he'd delivered her to Summer's not-so-tender mercies? Had he also betrayed Gallow? It was entirely likely. Not that it mattered. Unwinter's poison had most likely finished off her dead sister's husband. Daisy. Shining surfaces holding broken reflections danced inside her head. Her sister's teeth broken stumps. Safety glass caught in corpse-tangled hair. Don't think about that either. Her head throbbed. She uncurled, one arm a bar across her midriff to hold her aching belly in. The night was a whirl of impressions, everything inside her skull fracturing like broken mirrors? She shook her head violently. Glass. Like broken glass. That word wasn't as troubling as the other, the M word. The terrifying idea of a reflection lurching for her while it wheezed and choked and cracked a leather belt in its bloody too big hands. Robin's shoulders struck something solid, jolting her back into herself. She glanced around wildly, her shorn hair whipping. It stood out around her head now, a halo of coppery calyx. The gold hoops in her ears swung, tapping her cheeks, and she forced herself to straighten again. She'd fetch up against the prefabricated concrete wall, either painted a dingy yellow or simply sandblasted to that color. The angle of the shade and the taste of the air said morning, and it was going to be a hot day. Pepperbuckle sat down, his sides heaving as he panted, and his teeth gleamed bright white. The scrubland here was full of small, empty hills, and if she peered around the corner, she could see ancient, cracked pavement and the two gas pumps. A little ding sounded, and her breath stopped as a lean, dark-haired mortal boy with a certain sullen handsomeness to his sharp face stepped out into the sun. He hunched his shoulders, lit a cigarette, and ambled for the pumps. A red polyester vest proclaimed him as an employee of Happy Harry's Stop and Sip. Harry was apparently a cartoon beaver, even though such an animal had very likely never been sighted in this part of the country, let alone one wearing a yellow hat and a wide, unsettling bucktooth grin. Robin exhaled softly. Pumps meant a convenience store. They would have a refrigerator. Very likely.